Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. The NFL world woke up to what could be one of the most surprising off-season moves in recent memory. Derrick Henry, the king himself, might just be on his way to South Beach. Yes, you heard that right. Multiple reports, still unofficial but gaining strong traction on both mainstream and underground insider circles, suggest that the Miami Dolphins have reached a verbal agreement with the former Tennessee Titans star. While the deal hasn't been formally announced by the franchise as of this moment, the buzz is loud, and it's spreading like wildfire. People close to the Dolphins front office have hinted at an elite offensive piece being added to the puzzle, and the name most consistently dropped behind the scenes, Derrick Henry. This could be the move that flips the AFC on its head. It's not just about getting a power back, it's about getting the power back. One of the most feared runners of the last decade. If true, this signals that Miami is in for a Super Bowl push. Not just playoffs, not just divisional titles. We're talking Lombardi Trophy level ambition. And the league is watching very closely. Now let's talk football logic here. If you've been following the Dolphins' strategy over the last 2 seasons, this kind of aggressive move isn't totally out of character. They've built a speed-first offense, electrifying with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle tearing defenses apart. But what's the one ingredient they've lacked when the postseason gets gritty? Physicality in the run game, and that's where Derrick Henry could redefine everything. Imagine combining Miami's vertical explosiveness with Henry's brute force ground dominance. That's nightmare fuel for defensive coordinators. Henry isn't just any back, he's a 6'3" to 7-pound freight, trained with elite burst field vision and a history of punishing defenders. The Dolphins had decent production from Raheem Mostert and Devon Achane last season, sure. But let's be real, Henry brings a different level of reliability and intimidation. If Mike McDaniel really does have his eyes set on deep playoff football where weather, injuries, and tempo control matter more than ever, Derrick Henry becomes the executor. The question now is, how close are we to seeing this officially materialize? Some insiders are saying the deal has been in the works quietly for weeks, which would explain the Dolphins' recent silence on running back rumors. Miami's front office has been eerily quiet compared to past years, and now it makes sense they were saving the fireworks. The Dolphins are no strangers to splashy moves, but this one might top them all if it becomes reality. Derrick Henry isn't just a name, he's a brand, a culture changer, a player who can walk into a locker room and instantly command attention and respect. And let's not forget, he still has gas in the tank. Sure, he's 30 now and the wear and tear narrative follows every veteran back, but Henry is a rare breed. He's missed minimal time due to injury and continues to churn out 1,000-yard seasons with regularity. He's built differently, literally and metaphorically. The Dolphins might be banking on precisely that. They don't just want flash, they want firepower that lasts deep into January. And if Henry's body holds up, he could be the key to unlocking the next level of this Dolphins era. What's fascinating is the ripple effect this potential move creates across the AFC. Think about it, teams like the Bills, Ravens, and Chiefs are already bracing for postseason chaos. If the Dolphins truly add Derrick Henry, that's not just a win for Miami, that's a warning shot to the rest of the conference. Suddenly you're facing an offense that can beat you with speed or grind you down with force. No more one-dimensional game plans. No more relying on Tua Tagovailoa to carry the entire offensive load. Now defenses will have to pick their poison. Stack the box, Tyreek and Waddle go deep. Drop into coverage, Henry will run through you, round you, and over you. This is chess, not checkers, and Miami might have just added the queen to their board. The strategy here goes beyond flashy headlines. This is a calculated pivot toward versatility and playoff longevity. That's how contenders think. That's how champions are made. And if these rumors prove true, the Dolphins just graduated from exciting to terrifying overnight. Let's also talk about the cultural fit. Miami is a city that thrives on swagger, style, and star power. Derrick Henry brings all three in abundance. He's got the look, the pedigree, and the highlight reel to electrify the fan base. Picture this: Henry strolling into Hard Rock Stadium under the Florida sun, drenched in aqua and orange, greeted by a sea of roaring fans. It's not just a football move, it's a marketing dream. Ticket sales through the roof, jersey numbers instant top seller, media coverage non-stop. For a franchise that's long lived in the shadow of its own history, Derrick Henry represents a new phase of the franchise, one that doesn't just aim to win games, but dominate headlines and command attention. And let's be real, he deserves it. After years of carrying the Titans on his back, quite literally, Henry now has a chance to be part of something bigger, more balanced, and more dangerous. The city's ready, the fans are salivating, and the league, they're already recalibrating their expectations for 2025. Of course, all this buzz begs the question, what would the Dolphins be giving up? Rumors are swirling that the deal might involve draft capital rather than players, possibly a third-rounder with performance-boost escalators. If that's the case, Miami could be getting a generational back at a relative bargain. The Titans, meanwhile, are clearly in a rebuilding phase and letting go of a franchise cornerstone. Like Henry signals a full commitment to youth and flexibility. It's a win-win in many ways. Tennessee gets to retool without forcing Henry into a role misaligned with their timeline. And Miami gains a player perfectly positioned for their championship window. But let's not forget the risk. Running backs aren't known for longevity. The Dolphins are betting big that Henry's durability and drive will outlast the usual decline curve. It's bold, it's gutsy, and it might be exactly what Miami needs to break the ceiling they've hit the past 2 seasons. Whether it's draft picks, cap space, or future leverage, this is a franchise saying we want to win now. Still with us then? Show some love, hit that like button, and let us know in the comments. What's your take on the Fins this week? Then there's the locker room dynamic. Bringing in a veteran like Derrick Henry can do wonders for a team's chemistry if managed correctly. Leaders like Tua, Tyreek, and Terron Armstead have established a strong identity within that locker room, and Henry's quiet confidence and relentless work ethic might just blend in perfectly. He's not a diva. He doesn't demand the spotlight. He earns it. That's a crucial distinction when integrating a high-profile piece into an already star-studded roster. Word is head coach Mike McDaniel has already spoken with Henry, laying out his vision for the offense and Henry's role in it. If that conversation went well and all signs point to it being productive, then this isn't just a front office decision. This is a top-to-bottom organizational commitment to bringing the king to Miami. And let's be clear, if McDaniel can scheme Henry into space with his creative formations and motion-heavy sets, we might witness a career revival that shocks even the biggest skeptics. Financially speaking, the numbers might not be as tricky as some think. The Dolphins have managed their cap space relatively well, especially considering the contracts they've handed out to stars on both sides of the ball. A short-term deal for Henry, especially if loaded with incentives and performance bonuses, wouldn't cripple their future flexibility. It could be a classic winnow maneuver, sacrifice a bit of cushion for a legitimate shot at hardware. Sources have hinted that Henry himself might be willing to accept a slightly lower base salary in exchange for guaranteed touches and a legitimate chance at a ring. That speaks volumes. He's chasing legacy now. He's done the Pro Bowls, the 2,000-yard season, the rushing titles. What's missing? A Super Bowl. Miami offers the weather, the weapons, and the vision. And now potentially the workhorse to match. It's a fascinating intersection of ambition, timing, and opportunity. And it's playing out right before our eyes. Fans have already taken to social media with mixed emotions. Some ecstatic, others cautiously optimistic. That's the nature of bold moves. You don't get universal consensus when you shake up the status quo. But make no mistake, if Henry puts on a Dolphins uniform, he's going to be one of the most-watched players in the league next season. Every snap, every carry, every stiff arm will be dissected and debated. That comes with the territory. And frankly, Henry seems built for it. He's never been one to shy away from pressure. If anything, he thrives on it. And let's not overlook the intangible factor here, motivation. After being doubted, after hearing that he's lost a step, after seeing younger backs get the spotlight, Henry's about to run angry. That's the scariest version of him. That's the version Miami hopes to unleash. And if it works, the Dolphins don't just get a running back, they get a storm. As we await official confirmation from either camp, one thing is certain: this rumor has taken on a life of its own. Whether it's a leak, a smokescreen, or the start of a new era, the buzz is impossible to ignore. Derrick Henry to the Dolphins feels big, almost too big to be fake. And if the announcement comes in the next few days, expect the entire sports media landscape to erupt. ESPN, NFL Network, every podcast, YouTube channel, and TikTok sports page will be on fire. Because moves like this don't happen in silence. They reshape narratives. They set the tone for seasons. They create legends. And if Derrick Henry does indeed take his talents to South Beach, the NFL will never look the same again. Get ready, because the king might just be heading to Miami, and the crown, it's looking shinier than ever. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up!